And welcome everyone to another wonderful Scoop Slam podcast video thing that we do. Armin is still away, and Joe was nice enough to come back again and help me out.
It's our Raw review of what happened on this Raw because we have to tell you what happened.
We do, and it's Raw and it's also a little SmackDown. I know, as I've said before, I am brand new to the wrestling scene. It's because of this tournament, because I wanted to see what happened. I watched my first SmackDown, and in fact, we're recording this on Thursday, so there's going to be another one, although, of course, SmackDown is pre-recorded, so we technically already know who wins.
That's what they need to fix if they want it to be better, because I hear they're dropping in ratings for SmackDown.
Oh, really?
They need to make it live, and they also need to make it surprising, like a Raw, not just a recap show, you know?
Although I think by the Final Four, we all pretty much knew who was going to win, if we didn't know who was going to win, period. But I guess with that, we'll take you to two Raws ago, where, of course, Triple H came out and they had a big, heartfelt kind of, send-off to poor Seth Rollins with his injury. And it's interesting, even though Rollins played such, a dirty, heelish character, everyone seemed to love him so very much.
It's because, he played the heel well. If you look throughout wrestling, like WWE or even other ECW, people do like certain heels. I mean, Eddie Guerrero was a heel for a long time, too. People loved him. Mm-hmm. John Cena was a heel, and people loved when John Cena was a heel.
Thugonomics, man.
Yeah, so it's like, the kids won't like Seth Rollins because, they're supposed to hate him. He's the bad guy. But I think majority of people who know about WWE and wrestling like him. Plus, if you watch Up, Up, Down, Down, he's a pretty awesome personality.
He's so good in that, man. He is, like, legit so good. Dude, Xavier, friggin' Up, Up, Down, Down, hit us up, man. We would love a Scoop Slam co-op with you guys.
Well, the thing, they even mentioned it, I just real quick, they mentioned it throughout the show. Xavier was like, they're a fallen captain.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Gotta send the unicorn magic to our fallen captain. Gotta send it his way. So, Triple H comes out, Roman Reigns comes out, the number one contender, and we have a moment that I swear was literally taken right from, like, Spider-Man 1 with the Green Goblin, where Triple H tries to turn Reigns to the dark side, and he's like, no matter what you do, Roman, eventually the people, they will hate you, but if you be my man and join me on the dark side, we can rule the WWE Universe together.
I never realized it like that. And plus, when Triple H was talking about, like, all the points making it to Reigns, I was like, wow, he's making a lot of good points. And then you could even see it in the crowd. The people were happy when he was offering the heel turn, but then mad when he took the face.
And that's the problem with your booking right there, when you're literally having that Star Wars join me on the dark side moment, and the crowd is like, yes, join him on the dark side, be evil, being evil is awesome. And then when he goes no, I'm not gonna sell out or buy in, I'm my own main man, I get there on my own steam, and the crowd is like, boo, self-made man, that's bullshit.
But there's certain superstars, their characters that can pull that off. I ultimately thought Roman could do well as a heel because of how
a lot of people see
how extreme he can get and how, like, raging he can get. You know what I mean? But it's just, what are you gonna do about it? Or apparently they edited some of the crowd. Like, you can hear some of the cheers and boos, but they did edit it. Like,
audio sweetening is what it's called.
Yeah.
And it's funny, in his rage, Triple H is like, well, fine then, we're starting the tournament right here, right now. You don't want to join the Authority. You're going to fight the Authority's top gun, Big Show.
Freaking Big Show, dude. Like, what?
Man, it's getting really lonely in the Authority right now, isn't it? With Corporate Kane gone and with Seth Rollins gone. Basically, the Authority stable is just Big Show now.
What they need to do, though, is kind of just like, I know the Authority's always going to be there because it's kind of like, you probably won't remember this, Joe, but back then there was this, the corporation, Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, they had that thing, and they were going up against Austin and everything. But Reigns is not in Austin. Reigns is not a Stone Cold, so...
No, he's... Even though they really want him to be, and even though they really are positioning him to be that way, kind of like the great anti-authoritarian.
Either they need to get a new kind of like back up the authority. You probably won't remember this either, but a couple years ago they had when NXT first started, and it was like a game show in a way where people had to win to become part of the main roster.
Right.
You would then there's this team called the Nexus, which they were NXT superstars who made it or who didn't make it, and they wanted to wreck shop in the WWE and basically destroy the main roster. You could get people from NXT to do that.
Which is a good angle, and one of those guys was Husky Harris, a.k.a. Bray Wyatt. Yeah. I remember that much. So even guys who were on that team eventually came over, and people were all pissed off at that angle because apparently Cena just buried it.
Well, that, and I don't know if people remember, but Daniel Bryan actually got fired because of what he did, and then he got brought back later on because of certain people up in the company who thought he had a future here in the WWE, who didn't just want to let him go because of one mistake. Good thing too, because he became a big thing part of the company.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously Roman Reigns cleans house on Big Show. Good, feel good victory for him. He wins the day. Happy, joy all around. Then my boy Kevin Owens took on Titus O'Neil. And again, man, friggin' Kevin Owens has been on fire recently. Like, I know I said last time we did this that one of the cool aspects of, having a tournament and having your top guy gone is that the lower tier guys get to prove themselves. I think he's been proving himself all over this tournament.
Especially since now he's feuding with Melissa Joan Hart.
I know. Oh, I'm so glad you. I wanted to make a video about that. Like, I don't usually make videos for the Scoop Slam channel. I wanted to, because I wanted to do that thing because I love Kevin Owens, and Melissa Joan Hart actually follows me on Twitter. I'm not even joking about that. I'm like, this is a story just for Joel. It involves Canada and Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Do it, Joe. Do it. Plus, I love the whole thing of I stand with Owens.
I know. Oh my god.
Hopefully this turns out to be. I don't think she can wrestle, but hopefully this turns out to be like something where they bring her on to Raw and she's calling out Owens or something like that. And
yes, please let this be a work. Please let this be an angle. Please let Sabrina just have to tag in her aunts and everything, and they give him the tombstone.
I even love it how he caught it on Twitter. It's like, I just blocked Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
What do you want? And again, man, Owens just in like top heel form because obviously they're in Europe for all of this right now. He comes out in England and he's like, hey, fuck the Queen, fuck fish and chips, and fuck football. Yeah.
Should have said fuck Doctor Who.
Yeah, fuck Doctor Who. I'm like, man, you can get away with that stuff in America, but these guys have been drinking since noon. You might get jumped on your way back to the car.
It's freaking Owens at his best as a heel. I remember when he came out and freaking powerbombed this rapper, Machine Gun Kelly. I was like, wow, what? This dude is just, he doesn't care. Like, I love the heel aspect he's playing. So
Very good. Then we had Cesaro v. Sheamus again. Cesaro also really getting to show himself in this tournament here. Obviously, Sheamus was not going to win, but he has the money in the bank, so it doesn't really matter.
That was the match where you saw like Cesaro hang out with like a famous football player over there.
Yes, that's right. From the Manchester United, which is another angle they're working on for the British audiences.
I thought that was cool because I was like, oh, wait, is that Wayne Rooney? Because I didn't even know there. Like, there is, of course, on Twitter, like, oh, there's an angle playing, but I didn't see any of that. And I was like, oh, man, what? They're working something with Wayne? That's cool. But yeah, it's like Cesaro, everybody loves Cesaro except Vince.
Yeah, clearly. And I like they even tease us, like in last night's Raw, where it's like, hey, you got an important match ahead of you there, Cesaro. If you win, we'll be sure to take care of you. But that's if you win.
Damn, I was like, stop teasing Triple H.
It's like he knows. It's like he knows how much the fans love him and his Cesaro section and everything. So they just tease us. Again, the next match after that was a very European match. Neville versus King Barrett. The good Brit beat the evil Brit. But the evil Brit got to have a thing, like you said, with the Manchester United football player. So, hey, good for him.
But, yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do? It's like, I don't know. King Barrett, like, he's all right, but I wonder just what they're gonna do with him now. Like,
he seems like a guy who's already readying for his commentator post career.
Right. I mean, who's one that does? I know Corey Graves does it. Who's one that? I remember one of the Usos did it. I thought it was hilarious when they're commentating on like a SmackDown match or something, or a NXT tournament. I forgot what other wrestler who could do it. Like, I don't know. All I know is like anybody on Up Up Down Down can commentate football.
Oh god, yeah. Oh yeah. I would happily watch Kofi Kingston do I would start watching football if Kofi Kingston started, doing the play-by-play.
Especially like freaking Seth Rollins. He's all about that, dude. I was like,
You gotta play defensive. You gotta play the defensive football is what you gotta do, man. So yeah, I mean, that was an interesting match.
Yeah.
I liked Neville a whole lot, but the sad thing about Neville is just like, oh, they still think of you as a foreigner, so you're gonna get gimmick matches and not get pushed the way you should.
There was a match he had with Stardust. I don't remember when, it might have been a live event, but
yeah, a couple.
He even calls him like Mighty Mouse because apparently that was Neville's first
big
gimmick.
Ears and everything. Oh, really?
Yeah, that was supposed to be his first gimmick when coming up to the main roster. Mighty Mouse. That's how it was described as. And then he kind of like switched to just updated it. Yeah, it is kind of superhero, but not cheesy superhero.
Which man, good for him, because I mean, a bad gimmick can kill you. Like King gimmicks do no favors to anybody, and I think that might be another problem for poor King Barrett, that he's got a King gimmick attached to him.
It did nothing for Booker T, to be honest.
No.
And what was it? Bad News Barrett was actually way better than King Barrett.
Yeah, I got some bad news. That was a better one. That was good. That was good stuff. Another match that I'm sure made you very happy: Alberto Del Rio versus Stardust.
It was good. I like Alberto Del Rio matches, but it's when we get to my boy Kalisto, that's the match I was looking for. But this one was alright. I was like, you knew Stardust was gonna lose. You knew Alberto was gonna go up there.
Which is sad, because again, I like Stardust, and I wish this character had more of a chance to play. And again, that was on SmackDown. And I didn't know this, but what is it? Stardust's wife is the announcer for SmackDown.
Yeah. And his brother, Godus, is coming back soon, because I feel like they're gonna get rid of the Stardust gimmick soon, which I don't know how I feel about that, because I love that Cody goes all the way for it.
God, yeah. Oh, God.
I love that, and I wish Stardust would have a chance at least at a month reign or something like that with the title, whether it's Intercontinental, United States. I just want them to have a championship.
How fun would that be?
Yeah, as Stardust? Like, what?
That would be amazing. Like, I'm the Cosmic Champion. I'm better than you.
Exactly. Like, that'd be cool, but I don't know if we're going to see it soon. Hopefully, but I doubt it.
Speaking of another wrestler who's, more or less preparing for a post-career commentator spot, Miz versus Ziggler. Again, this one was in the bag for Ziggler. You knew he was going to win.
Miz. It's like, yeah, he is like ready just for that commentator spot, whether it's on Raw, SmackDown, or just one of those pre-show things.
Yeah. And that's nothing against Miz. I think he would be wonderful in that. And as a matter of fact, I've only been watching wrestling for the better part of a year now. And even I'm kind of like, yeah, these commentators are grating on me. I'm not going to lie.
Miz makes it hyped up, especially when I going back to Up, Up, Down, Down, when he does the commentate on there, or when he does there was an interview Xavier Woods did with the Miz about Street Fighter. I was like, man, this
dude's
guy,
on fire.
Yeah, this guy can do it. He can really hype up a match. He's all right in the ring. He's never been my favorite. His whole background was that he came from a reality TV show and wanted to be a wrestler. That was
Road Rules, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it's all right. But he was a better commentator than he was a wrestler.
And now the one and only big upset match, the one that I don't think anyone saw coming, and what ended up being a really fun match to watch, that was Kalisto v. Ryback.
I wanted this to happen. I was like, oh man, Ryback's gonna kill him, but I really hope Kalisto wins. And he did. And when he did a promo before that, talking about being the underdog kind of promo, the ones Rey Mysterio used to always do, this guy can be that thing again. Whatever Rey Mysterio was, Kalisto can be. It's just that they need to give him more time in singles. But as I think right now, Lucha Dragons are something that people really like, and they would hate to break it up.
Yeah, man. I mean, Kalisto walked away from this tournament in my mind looking better than he ever has in a long time. I mean, not only did you get a classic small fast guy versus big strong guy David Goliath type match, but in a weird way, I liked Ryback more than I ever did before, because, they were sportsmen about the whole thing. They shook hands and there was no hard feelings and everything. Yeah. It's it's nice sometimes when faces battle other faces.
Yeah, it's, because, of course, they know who's going to win at the before the match starts, obviously.
What? Wrestling is fake? Say what? No one told me that yet.
No, but the thing I like, though, is that, Ryback was willing to give it up to Khalid, because there was a big Ryback push, remember? There's a big push, so it's cool to see something all right, let's get Kalisto over, because he's gonna be that. I like Alberto Del Rio, but I think if you had to choose, Kalisto could be a way better like face for the company than Alberto.
Talent.
Yeah, it's just like it's cool. It's awesome seeing Kalisto get the singles push. We should see more of that, really.
Yeah, I mean, I would totally be okay with that. I think he's shown himself really well in this tournament. And you're right about the Ryback push. A push that stopped almost as soon as it started. Didn't he have like the IC belt for like a couple weeks?
Yeah, and then he did it. He won it at one of the pay-per-views, and it was like he brought in a kid for the Make-A-Wish, and everybody's like, he's gonna keep it forever. And then no, he lost it soon.
Right away, and still hasn't got it back. Like, he came back from his staph infection, won the match. I'm sure they promised him that he would win, and then lost it just after.
Yeah. Oh well. Let's go Kalisto.
Yeah, man, go Kalisto. Then after that, it was Ziggler V Ambrose, and this was a fun match. You know, these are two guys with very complementary styles going off against each other. They also had kind of like a Beauty and Beast thing going on, which I liked.
I think from the get-go, all of us don't knew who's gonna win, like on that side, and who's going up. We knew Ambrose, but
I mean, obviously, the final Survivor Series match has to be Ambrose Reigns. There you go. You got your friggin' Shield match that you were booking anyway, just a little bit different. Now, let's talk about Ambrose, too, in this whole thing, because, you know, the commentators driving story home like a sledgehammer as they do, where they're like, oh, you know, Triple H gave Seth Rollins the offer, and he took it, and he gave Reigns the offer, and he didn't take it. How come no one's talking about Ambrose? How do you think Ambrose feels about all this?
Yeah, I mean, Ambrose because he was gonna feud with someone. I think it was Owens. I think he was gonna feud with Owens before Rollins got injured. They still are kind of feuding, but now he's instead of with the IC title, it's gonna be more so for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And to be honest, he has never won it officially. He stole the title. Remember that?
Vaguely.
Yeah, well, he stole the title from Rollins when he hit, like, the win that Ambrose had was kind of like not faked, but it wasn't legit. Like, he thought he won, and then Rollins got him from behind and then got the pin and won or whatever. You know what I mean? It wasn't like official. Forget exactly, but it wasn't official. So it's cool. It'd be cool to see if Ambrose really won it. But you know, going back to the whole Ziggler and Ambrose, good match. You know, Ambrose gives good matches.
Oh yeah, he really does. And you know, he actually got to talk more than he ever did before after he won it, where he's like, you know, and when I win the belt, all the WWE universe is becoming the Ambrose Asylum.
Asylum.
Which leads me to believe, do you think they're going to be leading, maybe, because obviously everyone wanted Reigns to have a heel turn, do you think they're going to lead Ambrose to a heel turn at the end of this? Is he going to be like, oh, you know, everyone around me in the Shield was given a chance to succeed but me, but, you know, now I'm going to win through dirty tricks?
Or I was going to say, like, that, look, you say you're in the right track. I was like, everybody in the Shield had, like, a chance to succeed. I wasn't given that chance, so I made the chance for myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, something like that. I could see that. I definitely think he'll win in the Survivor Series, but that we can talk about that later. It's just that he is someone that I feel like, because I think they wanted Roman to win, but now they're like, we want people to leave Survivor Series happy. Let's give it to Ambrose. People love Ambrose.
Yeah, and I also think maybe they're too afraid to give up their top heel position just yet, where it's like, okay, maybe we turn Ambrose heel and he gets to be champ for a bit and we'll take it from there. And then that gives Roman something to work for the next couple pay-per-views, and maybe you have like a Mania rematch.
Yeah, I think after it's TLC, so have something there.
Which would be interesting because Ambrose is well known for his extreme weapon matches and everything that he likes to do, so that would be a fun match.
The thing is, though, you got to choose before the year ends. Creative has to choose who do they want to head it into WrestleMania, because, of course, Royal Rumble's coming up, and whoever wins that is gonna go against that, unless Roman wins it, and then Dean is not allowed like another opportunity at it regularly, and then he joins the Rumble and wins that.
Right, plus you always have, like, the wrench in the machine of Sheamus to run it at any point and completely...
Yeah, I hope I loved what happened this year in the WrestleMania with Rollins cashed in, but I hope they don't do it again.
They would cheapen it if they did it again. Now, obviously, I'm sure a match that had you super excited, but also a match that left you a little like, oh, I don't know who to choose. Del Rio versus Kalisto.
Exactly, but I think I knew Del Rio was going to win, so it was like... It wasn't as difficult, but I was really hoping, like, oh, come on, give Kalisto that push, man. Give him that push. And then they didn't give it, but it's because Kalisto really, I love Del Rio. He's from my hometown in Mexico as well. So and I love his style. And he's from a family of wrestlers that are really technical and big in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard not to like him when I've seen his style and his family style. But Kalisto has that Rey Mysterio effect that I just can't get rid of when I first saw Rey Mysterio.
He had a lot of good kicks in that match. He was kicking like a boss that whole match.
That's the thing with these luchadors. They kick a lot. You know, like Kevin Owens, he'll punch you. But these luchadors, they'll kick you, man.
They'll kick the living shit out of you. So yeah, that was the match going into tonight's SmackDown. But again, as we mentioned, SmackDown's pre-recorded. We already know who was going to win. Not that we needed to know who was going to win.
Really? I thought that was on Raw.
Pardon? Oh, was it? Well,
Del Rio and Kalisto, because Kalisto and Ryback was on last week's SmackDown, and then on Raw it was Del Rio and Kalisto. Then Kalisto lost, and I was like, oh.
I'm just saying like tonight for tonight's match, because we already were going into the final four for it.
No, it's not the like Reigns versus Del Rio and Owens versus Ambrose ain't on SmackDown. It's at Survivor Series.
Oh, okay, so that's the event, which is this Sunday.
Yeah, it's I thought that was kind of dumb of what they do that, but I guess they were like, oh, we need to fill the card up. Let's put the final four, like the two matches, the semifinals. Right, I was like, oh, that's kind of dumb.
This Sunday. And I guess the other big storylines that we should touch on going into this is, of course, the Wyatt Brothers of Destruction feud continues to reign on. They ran in, beat each other up, kept hyping up the match and everything.
Yeah, it's the thing I find interesting that I didn't know at first was that it's going to be Brothers of Destruction versus two of the Wyatt family.
Yeah, only two.
All of it. I really wanted it to be a handicap match because
that would have been
show not only the power of the Brothers of Destruction beating up all of the family, but also just to show that the Wyatt family will use their numbers when they have to. They usually do so.
Because that's good heel heat is what that is.
It's just weird. I forgot about that was going to happen. I really wish it was a handicap match.
So who do we think the two are going to be? Bray and Strowman?
That's kind of the obvious choices, right? Because Bray, because he's the leader. Strowman, because he's the strongest. And like the other two would just be there in commentary, be like, "You go, Bray. You go, Strowman," like cheerleaders.
Yeah, there you go. Oh God, big hairy redneck cheerleaders. Jesus. Because they've been building up this kind of Kane versus Strowman mini feud within a feud, which I'm really interested to be like, oh, they're the two biggest, tallest guys out there. What's it going to be like when these two fight each other?
Yeah, but I guess we'll see how good of it is, because I'm glad to see Brothers of Destruction back. I really wish it was the motorcycle.
Oh God,
American Badass.
You wanted him to be Big Evil, come out to Limp Bizkit's rolling.
Yes, it's the only Limp Bizkit song I'm okay with.
Where Mark Calaway comes out and rides his motorcycle around the ring just a little bit.
Exactly, but I guess we'll see how the match goes. I think it'll be all right, because I don't know which way it could possibly go.
It's much like the Reigns thing. It's a weird catch-22 you're in. It's 25 years of The Undertaker, and isn't the pay-per-view going to be in Texas?
No, it's I forget exactly where Survivor Series is going to be. Let me look it up, but it's not in Texas. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I'm sure you would know if it was. You'd be like, I gotta fucking go there.
Heck yeah, it's in They don't tell you on the website.
They don't. It's a mystery. They don't know where it's gonna be. It could pop up.
I don't know.
I was just saying, I was thinking, for 25 years of The Undertaker, do they give him a victory here to help, balance out the loss to Brock, or do they actually let the Wyatts win and let them, do what they say and, we're the new faces of fear in the WWE?
But something like, unless they're saving that handicap match for WrestleMania, I could see this feud going all the way up to there, to be honest.
I'd like that, and then, maybe you pass the torch, or maybe you give the two old guys a nice victory to leave their careers.
No, what you do is you have them win at Survivor Series, but have them lose at Mania, and put the Wyatt family over at the biggest stage, sports entertainment, as they say.
That would be nice.
Oh, and if they do that and take it all the way to WrestleMania, they could also, if it's during the Rumble, have the whole Wyatt family, have Brothers of Destruction both in it, and then once they get in there, they start beating each other and just take each other out and just start beating, you know what I mean? They're just beating each other in the side of the ring, even though they got out. It doesn't even matter.
That'd be cool. And then you go extra hardcore with Undertaker being like, I summon up the Ministry of Darkness and all those guys who were in that group. To
Uh,
come back now for this moment. Oh, that was a fun bit where Bray's like, ha ha ha, I control your druid putty patrollers and they have sheet masks now because I did that.
oh yeah, freaking
That's
Bray,
fun.
dude.
And you just know all the developmental dudes who they're like, okay, put on these robes and go get smacked in the face.
Imagine like I bet you it was anybody like in creative, or maybe it was the Miz.
we will pay you one sandwich to put this shit on, go in the ring and get beaten up.
One freaking sandwich on. Miz
Fun
needs that
fact,
sandwich.
fun fact, Dean Ambrose was one of the druids back in the day.
I remember, yeah, a bunch of these wrestlers who are bigger now. When they were smaller, they were barely starting out. When they weren't even in NXT, it was just performance centers type stuff. They get called upon to do stuff like that, like John Cena's entrances we used to do back then. That was cool. The Druids, anything like that. I always found that interesting.
That's fun stuff. That's fun stuff. Also, there was a Diva paper signing, which I mean, as much problems as you can have with the Divas Revolution, I guess it is a step in the right direction that the big finale of their show was a contract signing for a Divas match. So that's pretty cool.
But I feel like the thing we should, I don't know if you want to talk about it, is the whole controversy that's leading around that about bringing up Charlotte's dead brother who passed away because he OD'd a couple years ago. There's rumors saying that it was Charlotte's idea, some saying it's not, and then nobody called Ric Flair on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, wrestling has never been known for its good taste. I mean, this is 2015, and they still have an evil freaking Russian running around. I mean, they have a dude who was like an evil Tea Party protester and everything, who's now building a Mex-American nation. So I mean, I'm not gonna be like, I'm not going to be like, oh, wrestling, you should be ashamed of yourself. I'm like, no, this is as trashy as it's always. But I think the bit that made me go, ooh, was when the Bella twins were feuding. And she's like, I wish you died in the womb. And I'm like, ouch,
I remember that. I was like, what? I forgot all about it.
I'm like, that hurt me. Ow.
Like, okay. That's funny, though. I still remember it. I was like, oh, what?
And then, of course, you had all the tag guys who have been more or less kind of lost in the shuffle the last little while with this whole big tournament.
What guys?
Well, all the tag guys, because they also threw tag matches in between the tournament.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's probably not gonna be a tag like a title, like a match for the tag team championship.
No one cares about that right now. It's like, no, our number one guy is out. We need to do something with this, main title.
I would hope for that, and hopefully, you know what I was thinking though was that like if it was a handicap match, or at least like when it was that Undertaker versus Wise, they could have brought up someone like a Finn Balor as the Demon,
Ooh, that'd be fun.
They could have brought up anybody that was like that. If Sting was still there, he could have been there, but he's injured.
Then you put him over so big, being like, the three faces of evil and whatever. Aren't they all scary with their spooky gimmicks?
Finn Balor's Demon would have been awesome.
That would have been great. Actually, something I will mention because I've never mentioned it before because it's something that's just happened over the last 3 Raws. Obviously, the Usos are back now, and I never had much exposure to the Usos because I was just new and just starting. Yeah, I see why people like the Usos. The Usos are fun.
I like them. Army doesn't really like them as much because they're Samoan and he doesn't like Samoan people.
He doesn't like Samoan. Well, geez, that sucks for you for wrestling. There's like one huge family of Samoan wrestlers.
But I like them. I think I like more so their personality than I do their in-ring ability. They're great. They're high flyers. They can do all this stuff. And
they have a great intro. They have a great entrance that pumps you right the hell up where they're doing that Samoan war dance. I'm like, yeah, I'm into this.
I like when they do the post-show interviews or whatever, when they're just doing interviews, stuff like that, talking, I'm just like, man, they get me so hyped up. I'm like, yeah, let's go. They're
also really, really over with the kids. The kids absolutely love the Usos.
Heck yeah, dude.
Because Uso crazy. They're just fun. Oh, speaking about kids to close out the show, obviously because they were doing these, in Europe and in London and everything. Man, no one gets involved like little British kids get involved in the match. Like, I don't know if you could hear it on your end, but there was like one kid, and I swear it was the same kid at the ssame show, being like, oh, that's what you get for messing with Dolph Ziggler. And I'm like, oh wow, that kid's into it.
What? He's like, oh,
oh yeah, oh my god, he was like a little chimney sweep who was calling the match himself from his stand, and he was so loud you could totally hear it. It was amazing.
That's amazing. I wish I didn't hear that the first time, but that's awesome.
Little British kid is my favorite new commentator. Oi, and you're shy. You shite the Miz for messing with Dolph Ziggler.
You should really bring him on, like as like a one day commentating type thing.
Yes, please.
That'd be hilarious.
Take your kid to work day, and he's just like, "Oi, Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, motherfucker."
Boy, Kevin Owens, don't be talking about me, Wayne Rooney. You hear?
Oh, that kid's great. Kid, wherever you are, you're awesome. You get the scoop slam bump. You're all right.
we're getting him over.
We are getting this kid over. So random kid who yells things.
That's so awesome though.
So any closing thoughts before we bring this one to an end? We've been talking for almost half an hour now.
Hopefully Ambrose wins Survivor Series.
That would be nice. I think that would be a good, feel-good one for the fans. Because even if Reigns does win, people would be like, oh, yeah, Reigns wins, yeah, whatever.
And lastly, even though they're having a traditional Survivor Series tag match at Survivor Series, please let it be, like, good people in it. Don't be just throwing anybody around, you know. Hopefully it's... I don't know, because they still haven't announced who's in it, so it's up in the air. It's all going to be done in the, during Survivor Series. Like, yo, you want to have a tag match? Okay.
And we will talk to you all after Sunday sometime after the match, and we'll get our thoughts out. And hopefully Armin will be back for that, and he can talk about that with us.
Sunday.
Sunday. One night only. Survivor Series. Scoop Slam. Like, subscribe. Check us out on the Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter. All that good stuff. Yeah.